Fortnite Chapter 6 Season 4 is just 1 month away, and everything has been revealed, from brand new locations to this creature who's going to be our main villain next season. Especially everything is now pointing towards the end of Corrupted Daigo. Also, the end of the Dark Presence, who is very close to getting to this island. We know this because a live event is scheduled to take place very soon, and these spires are actually going to play a huge part in this event. And judging by the shape, I think we know who this creature inside of the spirit realm actually is. What is going to take place in Chapter 6 Season 4? What is the theme of the season? And who is this creature who's going to be our main boss? But to understand all of that, we have to understand what is going to happen at the end of this season. Here is everything you need to know about Chapter 6 Season 4. I give away a skin to a lucky subscriber every week. All you have to do is subscribe to my channel, leave a like on this video, and if you want to help me out, use code SMJM. Daigo is getting very close to opening this portal. You see, the main reason why Daigo was granted this power by the Dark Presence was so that he can get to the island and bring the Dark Presence to Fortnite. Because the Dark Presence is extremely powerful, he cannot just use a normal portal. That is the reason why it granted Daigo so much power that it can summon this giant powerful portal strong enough so that this Dark Presence can walk right through and get to our Fortnite island. Hope says, what are these spires and what is Daigo doing with them? See, these spires are actually very important to bring the evil presence to this island, because these spires will provide that extra energy and power needed to open this portal. The same way this piece of the Death Star gave this portal a boost of energy. That is the reason why we have these giant spires. Daigo is here as well, and we have superheroes because of this extra power. We think that during this mini live event, these ruins will start glowing and sending a beam of energy to this rift, because as you can see, they literally surround this portal. Someone pointed out that they're actually making this cube sign, which might explain to us exactly who's responsible for all of this, and also who is this Dark Presence. Is this a cube sign that these spires are making? If it is, we know that the cube is the technology of the lost reality. Is the lost reality behind all of this? A lot of information is actually pointing towards this organization. It all started when Daigo completed fixing this mask, and there was this purple smoke surrounding Daigo's workshop. Also, the mask was actually glowing purple as well. This isn't the very first time we have actually seen these purple smoke before. Remember when the Cube Queen arrived on the island? Island was just covered in these purple smoke. Also, we know that the Cube Queen has the power of gold because she literally emerged from this golden cube. Also, when she arrived, she surrounded herself in this golden orb as well. Obviously, at the end of Shogun X versus Daigo live event, someone or something spilled a bunch of gold while we were distracted, and that gold is slowly corrupting the island as well. Also, when Daigo was corrupted, his mask turned gold as well. So it kind of makes sense that whoever this Dark Presence is inside of the spirit realm is somehow related to the lost reality. Now, a lot of people are saying that this creature is the Nothing. If you guys don't know, the Nothing is basically the one who created the lost reality. But the problem is that the Nothing is not an individual. It is in fact an organization, because during Chapter 3 Season 4, when Herald was attacking the island, Nothing was actually recruiting, looking for a perfect warrior. Actually heard its voice from the TV. Whoever this was kept referring to the Nothing as we and not me or I. This tells us that the Nothing is in fact an organization. And just like the Cube Queen or Herald or Blight, this evil presence is actually working for the Nothing as well. Most likely this Dark Presence is in fact this creature called Asmodeus, because we can hear a whispering voice coming out of the portal, and it sounds very much like Asmodeus, who's basically the king of all demons. And since this season is themed around demons, it makes a lot of sense. This has been a gradual plan for the Lost Reality to take over Fortnite and also take control of the 0 Point as well. Because if you guys have not played Fortnite before Chapter 3, the 0 Point is the only thing the Lost Reality wants. Has been trying to get at the 0 Point ever since the start of Fortnite, when Kevin the Cube spawned on the island, started to corrupt everything, exactly like what is happening now. But it was defeated by the 0 Point. Lost Reality tried again in Chapter 2 when they sent a giant mothership commanded by this creature called the Cube Queen. And the very first thing the Lost Reality ship does is goes to this spire where the 0 Point was sealed by the Foundation. But it turned out it wasn't there anymore because Dr. Sloan hid the 0 Point. And at this point, it became quite clear that the Lost Reality only wants the 0 Point, does not care about the Fortnite island, because slowly it starts to abduct locations to look for the 0 Point. But Dr. Sloan places a bunch of bombs at these locations as it's being abducted. Her plan is to basically destroy the UFO ship. That is exactly what happens during the Skyfire event. We end up inside of the mothership and we help Dr. Sloan blow up giant ship. But this plan completely backfires because bunch of cube end up on the Fortnite island. They create this giant pyramid shape, and the Cube Queen opens a giant portal during the end event, trying to break this bubble force field protecting the island and letting rest of the Lost Reality, including the Nothing, guessing this ship belongs to the Nothing. But they all fell, luckily, because the 7 flips the island and takes us to Chapter 3. Now, after this, the Lost Reality sends a creature called Harold. After seeing that the 7 and the Imagined Order were busy fighting each other, he sneaks in and slowly starts corrupting the island using this reality tree and her power of Chrome. She kidnaps most of the members of the 7, leaving the island completely vulnerable. Then we all know what happened. The island ends up getting destroyed. 0 Point eventually does create a temporary map, but he had to abandon the 0 Point and travel back to Chapter 1 Island using Kato Thorne's time machine. That was the last time we saw the 0 Point and also heard about the Lost Reality. But deep down inside, we knew that the Lost Reality was going to attack at some point. When and where was a mystery. Next time we see the 0 Point was straight after the remix event. It's not a whole 0 Point. This piece of the 0 Point crash lands on the Chapter 6 map. How did the 0 Point end up like this? It's all explained after seeing this video of the Lost Reality ship try to kidnap the 0 Point. Maybe after we travel to the OG Fortnite island. The 0 Point did manage to escape, but I guess at some point it gets destroyed, or maybe it kind of destroyed itself to protect from the Lost Reality. We don't know what happened, but one thing we know that it looks like a bunch of these shards has ended up on the Chapter 6 map. Now it looks like the Lost Reality thinks this is a perfect opportunity to capture all of these pieces of the 0 Point, create a whole one so they can use its energy to be the most powerful organization in the history of Fortnite. And it looks like they have sent this dark presence, the king of all demons, to capture these 0 Point pieces. That is the reason why this dark presence is trying to get to this island using Daigo's help. So remember that this isn't your original Daigo. This is actually a corrupted version, because when the Nothing was explaining in Chapter 3 exactly what they were looking for as a warrior, Dark Presence said that they will grant this warrior an immense power, but this power will slowly start to consume its identity. It will forget their previous life, their loved ones. This sounds exactly like what what happened to Daigo. Night Rose, who was possessed by this evil presence, says Daigo has fallen to the thrall, meaning being controlled by someone or something dark and evil. But just when everyone thought that Daigo was completely gone, he gives us little signs. That was enough to tell us that Daigo that we know is still inside. Because after you defeat the corrupted evil Daigo, you can hear the Daigo inside say, "Please free me. You can't stop the darkness. None of us can. I can't fight him. I'm not strong enough." I think when the evil presence will get to this island, Daigo will not be needed anymore. So I think this evil creature will try to eliminate him. I'm guessing most likely the heroes are actually going to save him before it does. We are going to see this in this mini live event. So most likely the heroes will defeat the evil presence. This is going to make the Lost Reality extremely angry, and they're going to show up on the island in Chapter 6 of Season 4. That's right, the theme of Chapter 6 Season 4 has been revealed, and it is going to be alien/bug invasion. Looks like this season is going to be split into 3 different parts. First part, we are going to see the Lost Reality show up, and they're going to send their army that we have actually seen before in Chapter 2, these Chimera clan. There's going to be bugs literally everywhere on the island. Most likely going to get location themed around bugs as well, maybe like beehive, treehouse. These bugs are going to have a queen as well. This character can be found in the survey skin. So this is most likely going to be our main boss next season, or at least for the first half of the season. And the second part of this is going to be the Lost Reality. We might see UFO ship show up on the island, bunch of aliens as well. Obviously next season is the finale event of this chapter, so most likely we are going to get a huge live event, which is going to lead us to our third part of this season. We will end up in the Simpsons universe. This is going to be a 1-month-long season, and we will end up in Chapter 7. Chapter 7 has been leaked as well, which we'll talk about some point in the future, so please leave a like, subscribe, and use code SMJM. Peace out.